Stanley Atkins here. I usually talk about bad judges, especially those in Jackson and Banks County, Georgia. I'm going to talk about a bad president, Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump used to mess around with my ex-wife, Robin, which that's a given, I guess. He's a poon hound. And I have tapes of him. He used to call the house. This is when they weren't cell phones. This was in '91. I don't think we had cell phones back then. She was Mrs. Georgia and came runner-up to Mrs. America out in the Rodney King era, right after that happened to him. And talking about that, Donald Trump, again, is nothing but a racist. He's a rapist, outright calling anybody other than has white skin they're murderers and rapists and criminals, when again he sits down to his dinner every evening, morning, and whatever, eats his fruits and vegetables and meats, and the whole process of getting them is from mostly probably illegal immigrants or someone who has brown skin in other countries where it's imported from. The countries that he attacks, Honduras example, pineapple, tons of pineapple come out of Honduras. All these countries that he's attacking, he attacks the poor and oppressed, and anything other than white skin is again he's a Hitler. He's making the United States more Nazi. Look how he's operating. He's adding more layers of law. He's adding more layers of people being stopped and checked. You can't even walk down the street. You can't even drive down your road. You got checkpoints you got to go through. I mean, that's fucking ridiculous. And he himself is the biggest criminal out there, and he's hiring more criminals to do his dirty work. He's dividing children from their families. That's what these Supreme Court judges are doing themselves. The Supreme Court judge himself didn't pay his damn debt. He racked up. He was in debt. Well, Trump bankrupt. How many times has Trump bankrupt something? He screwed people out of money, and y'all voted him in. I was up there on voting day in America. Stanley, who are you going to vote for? Hell, neither one of them was worth spitting on. You know, neither one of them could fix anything. Neither one of them were worth anything. All they was for them. That's all Donald Trump's for. You think he had everything he wanted. He was a free man then. He's not a free man anymore. He never will be. He can't walk the streets anymore the way he did. He can't do deals anymore the way he did. But he still continued cheating people out of friggin' money every day. And it's amazing that the thing he says, that 75% of like our journalists are bad people. We have good journalists out there, young people, young guys and girls who's filming cops and our government not doing their job, and they're getting locked up and shot and attacked. Look, I want you to look, people. Are y'all ignorant of this? Are y'all not watching this? How many innocent people gets killed by cops every day by just being out on the street in the wrong place, wrong time? And maybe they had their hand by their waist. Oh, I thought they was going to pull a gun. They were totally unarmed. They're getting shot even in the back. Donald Trump's nothing but a con man and manipulator. That's all he is. And he screwed my ex-wife. And I got the tapes on it where he called the house. It was automatic tape. My ex never knew they was on the phone. She never knew I had them. I still got them. 2 tapes. I had a factory in Haiti. I was down there one time. This is back then. He was a racist also. If you'll look in the 70s and all, when he had apartments, condos, whatever they were, renting them out, if people with dark skin came by, it was double the price, or he didn't have any. And if you look it up, he went to court several times on that during the years and lost. But my ex told him I was in Haiti, and you know, I think she made a comment, this is a third world, that was a third world country. So no, that's a fifth world country. Well, even back then, he hated people with dark skin. You people with dark skin, I love you to death. Y'all need to band together and start protesting. Peacefully protesting against the damn government for killing y'all, from oppressing y'all, from taking everything away from y'all, by illegally deporting your families from this country and harassing you in this country. If you got dark skin, you got to be careful walking around out there. I mean, the things that Donald Trump is doing to this country, and he's an adulterist. He was married to Marla at the time. They had a new baby. We was in Atlantic City with her and their new baby. We was in Donald Trump's office several times. And Robin had won a lot of money on the roulette table one night. It was in the neighborhood about 16 or 18 grand. And he had found out about it from somehow. He did modeling for her. So did a lot of girls. She had a Dream Girl calendar, I think. And she was some month on there, but she went back and forth to Atlantic City and New York. That's how they got hooked up. He kept a picture of her in his desk, and he would tell her this over the phone. And I'd found out about it, and I got all this on tape too, and I called him and confronted him about it. He hung the phone up on me. And then I kept calling back, and his secretary kept hanging up. He advised her to hang up on me. He took my call at first, immediately when I told her who I was. I guess he thought it was a friendly call. And then I talked to his attorney several times. Again, I got all this on tape. And told some of us don't have him ever call my house anymore. But he's a disgrace. Like, gosh, who gets voted in as president? He's a disgrace to our country, the biggest one out there. And I swear, guys, you people better wake up out there what is happening to the United States. Your kids aren't safe anymore to go out. My son was in a Quick Trip gas station at 1:30. He told me this story at 1:30 here a while back, and there was a cop in front of him getting something, and then he got something. He said the cop stood aside, and he said when my son paid for his whatever he got, started walking out the door, the cop stopped him, and started questioning, what are you doing out this late? Who are you? What your name is? Fuck. Again, this is communist Nazi. It's none of the fucking bacon, this fucking pig's damn business what my son's doing out. He can be out. But no, not in America anymore. You gotta have a reason to be out at 1:30 in the morning. If you're a teenager or if you're a person, you can't be walking out on the streets if you have dark skin. And he's made a comment that Haiti and African countries are shitholes. America's the shithole, and he's making it worse of one. As an American, you can't even walk in your neighborhood because a cop may stop you and start questioning you. And you stupid Americans, y'all will answer him. You don't have to fucking answer him. Let me tell you something. I love these Cop Watch kids so much. I watched one the other day to where he was filming the outside of a police station. It had a chain link fence around it. And here come a cop, rolls up. It wasn't no time. And the cop starts questioning, what are you doing here? Well, the kid's smart, he knows his rights. He didn't even speak to him. He just kept walking. And the cop says, excuse me, or whatever he was saying. Anyway, it pissed him off. He grabbed the guy, slammed up against the car, handcuffed him, slammed his camera and his phone. Anyway, the kid got $41,000. Yay, he would have gotten more if he'd went to court. But that was a settlement out of court. But he did a good thing. He made the city do a video on our Constitution and the cops' oath, which the cops and the fucking judges and the attorneys don't abide by their oath. No, they don't. Not a one of them. And the cops don't even know the damn law at all. These little kids out there do, though. And again, I appreciate what they're doing. It's just amazing. And another kid was filming on the street. Two cops roll up. I don't remember what he was filming. What are you doing? I'm filming. Well, you can't do that here, the cop says. Listen, guys. A cop is bully. They're a thug. They will tell you anything they want to tell you. And most of you people will do it. I won't let them stop me. And they know that. I won't do what a fucking Supreme Court judge says. You know what? Curry Mingledorf, a Supreme Court judge in Jackson County, Georgia, I didn't do what he said because what he said was wrong. He was after me. He used my son. And I went after his ass. And you know what? All of his court hearings with me were not recorded by a court reporter because all he done was treason against me. He convicted me of contempt. I don't even know what the hell contempt. Who goes to jail for contempt? I went 90 days. And he was gutless because when he got up after he had convicted me and sent me to jail, he walked off and said something with his back turned to me. That's what a gutless piece of shit he is. And that's what Trump has put in office as a Supreme Court judge up there. A gutless guy that was in debt. You know, that's going to try people that are in debt. Just like Trump. That's why he hired him, I guess, because of his background. Because I'm sure Trump won't be long when he's out of president. He'll be in one of his companies, or him or his buddies will be in front of him. Well, I got the tapes. We was in New York with one of Robin's friends, Paulette Shear, one time. Just having fun. And we was somewhere, and this was when they were cell phones. This must have been later. But I remember Trump calling Robbie, contacting her somehow. This is in the 90s. Maybe they were cell phone. But he wanted to see her that night. And I found all this shit out through Paulette later, them talking and hearing and everything. But again, you think Donald Trump can be loyal to our country if he can't be loyal to his wife and his family? You go figure. He's not loyal to this country. He knows nothing anyway. He's just a salesman. That's all Donald Trump is. He's a salesman, and he sold you guys a pile of shit, and all y'all fell for it. That's, you know, look at it. Has he done anything to put money in your pocket? Anything? I got some beautiful people that are so ignorant and voted him in, saying, "Oh yeah, this president's gonna, man, he's gonna get it going on, man." You know what? Those same people are more poor than they was when he got in office. But I told them when they were saying that, I laughed. I said, "Do you think for 1 minute he cares about you down here in Georgia? You're nobody. You're nothing. He cares about his big man up there that can put money in his pocket, that can do things for him and do things for his family." And he must have some kind of prenuptial agreement with his wives that, I don't know whether it's public knowledge or not, but it should have been as a president. he must have a prenuptial agreement where he is allowed to screw around, because he does screw around on every wife he's ever had. And again, he hires people that does the same thing. He hires people that takes children away from their parents, because Donald Trump takes children away from their parents. And he himself, if you look at history of America, again, we were all migrants, our ancestors were. And that's what he's trying to keep out of this country now, is poor migrants. Well, they have rights also under the Constitution. But the Supreme Court, no attorney, no cops, no President Trump abides by our Constitution. They abide by their own laws, just like in Jackson, Banks County, Georgia. Curry Mingledorff, Wayne McLaughlin, Deborah Finch, attorney, Chief Judge Moltz, Robert Alexander is the biggest. It's Robert Alexander's laws in Jackson County, Georgia. Supreme Court Judge Mingledorff is a puppet to him. He doesn't listen to him. This is when he gets to him in court. This is Alexander right here, pointing, rolling his finger around and sticking at the judge. And they have some kind of a signal. When we was in Vietnam, you was captured, you learn Morse code by your blinking of your eyes. If you've ever interviewed by the media, that's how you talk to the United States versus what they was making you say. Anyway, Alexander has this with the Mingledorff of his finger, and that's how they talk. They've learned this undercover. So you watch Alexander next time he's in court with his finger rolling around. And he's indulged too, because he's screw driving himself in West Palm Beach, Florida. If you look at my Facebook, you'll see that. I got a Facebook. It's Murders by Judges and Attorneys in Jackson County, Georgia. Look that up. I got that out. You can see all the print. You can see letters from Mike Alexander where he's a smart ass to me, basically saying he's the big dog. And again, I'm running into about 18 minutes here. I really don't like these videos to be this long. I got pictures of my ex and Donald Trump. I'm going to show those, and I don't know if I want to play any of the tapes right now, but I will let you know if I can do that. I'm going to figure that one out. I got to work on that anyway, but I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you for your audience. Bye.